Most people believe they would notice if their life started going in the wrong direction. They think it would feel obvious, like a warning sign, like an alarm, something dramatic. But the truth is much stranger than that, because when life begins to drift, nothing feels wrong. Nothing feels urgent. Everything feels normal. And that's exactly why so many people never notice it happening. It usually begins with something very small, a delay. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because tomorrow feels like a better moment. Tomorrow feels organized, responsible, productive. So you wait. And the strange thing about waiting is this: it feels harmless. One day doesn't seem important, neither does the next one. But life rarely moves in dramatic leaps. It moves in tiny pieces of time, minutes, hours, days, and every small delay quietly adds up. Soon, a week passes, then another, then months begin to disappear. But you still don't panic, because technically nothing terrible has happened. You still have time. You still have plans. You still believe things will eventually change. You just haven't started yet. And that's the most dangerous place a person can live. Not failure, not struggle, but waiting. Because waiting creates the illusion of progress. You're thinking about your goals. You're imagining your future. You're planning what you'll do. But imagination can feel so real that it replaces action. You feel productive without actually moving forward. Days become routines. Wake up, check your phone, scroll for a few minutes. Those minutes quietly turn into half an hour, then an hour. Then the day begins to feel slightly rushed. So you postpone the important things again. Tomorrow sounds better. Tomorrow always sounds better. But tomorrow has a strange habit. When it arrives, it turns into another tomorrow. And suddenly, something strange happens. Life begins repeating itself. The same week over and over again. Different dates, same routine, same distractions, same promises you keep making to yourself. You start noticing how fast time moves. Months begin to feel shorter. Years begin to feel faster. And one day a quiet realization appears. Not dramatic, not loud, just a small thought. Wasn't I supposed to be further by now? That question is uncomfortable, because deep down you know the answer. You remember the goals you once talked about constantly, the version of yourself who believed things would change quickly. But time moved forward while your life stayed familiar, comfortable, predictable. And comfort is very persuasive. Comfort tells you, you still have time. You'll figure it out later. There's no rush. But comfort hides something important. Time doesn't pause while you're comfortable. It keeps moving, quietly, relentlessly. Every day you wait, the distance between you and the life you imagined grows slightly larger. Not enough to scare you, just enough to slowly change your expectations. Eventually, you stop expecting dramatic change. You start accepting routine. And that's the moment many people stop chasing their potential. Not because they failed, but because they slowly adjusted to a smaller life. a quieter life, a predictable life. But sometimes, something interrupts the routine. You see someone who started at the same place as you, someone who had the same doubts, the same fears, the same uncertainty, but they did something different. They started moving, not perfectly, not dramatically, just small steps. And now their life looks different, not perfect, but moving forward, growing, expanding. And suddenly, that quiet question returns. What if the difference was never talent? What if the difference was simply starting? That realization can change everything because it exposes the truth. Most people are not stuck. They're waiting for motivation, waiting for confidence, waiting for certainty. But certainty rarely appears first. Movement creates certainty. Action creates clarity. Progress creates motivation, not the other way around. And the moment you understand that, something shifts inside you. You stop asking when you'll feel ready. Instead, you start asking a different question. What small step can I take today? Not tomorrow, today. Because the truth is simple. The future you imagine is not built through one big decision. It's built through hundreds of small decisions, small steps taken consistently, even when they feel uncomfortable, even when progress feels slow, even when motivation disappears. And the moment you take that first step, something surprising happens. Life stops drifting. And for the first time in a long time, it starts moving forward again.